Okay, so you're going to need felt, and I have two kinds of felt here. I have cocoa brown and walnut brown, and that's because I haven't decided what I'm gonna use. You're going to need some white yarn, fabric glue, and super glue, or you can replace both of them with hot glue. You're gonna need a matching needle and thread, some scissors, your pattern, a pencil to trace your pattern on, and some paperboard. Let's get started. Before we get started, I forgot to mention you're also gonna need some stuffing. That's a big one, and sewing pins. So now we can get started. Okay, so I traced out and cut out my pattern pieces, and I ended up using both colors I had mentioned at the beginning of the video. This is going to be the bottom, and this is going to be the top. So what you do next is you line up the edges. That's going to be this edge down here, and then you start sewing. I'm going to start it, I'm going to put it inside to hide the knot. And then you can use whatever stitch you like. I like the blanket stitch, so I'm going to use that one. And the way you do the blanket stitch, you put it in, and right before you put it in between, and then pull, and then you're just gonna do all that around, line up the edges. I'm sorry you can barely see it because it's dark, so I'm gonna continue all around, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I sewed all around right here, and now I'm at this part, and as you can see, it's a little bit short, but that's okay. It's not gonna matter. You know, I cut these out. I did a bunch of them, and some of them are short, some of them are right on, and some of them are long. If you get that it's too long, all you have to do is take your scissors and cut a little bit to make it even. And for this one, even though it's a little bit short, I'm still gonna be able to connect it right there. So I'm gonna start connecting it, line up the edges again. And again, I'm gonna go with my blanket stitch, and right before I pull it through, I put my needle in between my loop here, and then I pull. So I'll continue that all around, all the way up. Okay, so here it is, and as you can see, there's the part where it's a little bit short, but like I said, that's okay, that's not gonna matter. So I'm gonna stop there, and then remember when I had you get some cardboard, you're gonna cut a little circle from it, and that's gonna you're gonna glue that in there with your super glue or hot glue, and that's to make it easier when you stuff it. It's flat at the bottom, so it can be able to stand. So that's the inside, and that's what it's gonna look like on the outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my super glue. Okay, I'm gonna take my super glue here. Okay. And press. Okay, that's good. And once that's there, I'm going to take my top piece, and I'm going to start sewing this in place. And so I'm going to sew all around, and I'm going to leave an opening for the stuffing. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so now I've sewed all around, and here's my opening, and I'm gonna start stuffing little by little. And I do want to stuff on the top here, make sure that's lifted. Okay, so now I've stuffed it, and now I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Okay guys, so here it is. This is what it looks like all sewn together, and as you can see, the cardboard makes it flat, so it's easier to stand. The next thing you're going to do is take your yarn. You're going to make one loop, and then I'm going to put it right on the center edge right here. I'm going to take my sewing pin and pin it in place. I hope that's in the center. I can always adjust it as I go. Then I'm going to make another loop. And then pin it right where they cross. Make another loop and pin it. Then I'm going to make one more loop. And pin it, and that's what I have so far. If you don't, you're gonna have to mess with it until you get it the way you like it. I really don't care much what it looks like. Also, if you don't want to use yarn, you can use puffy paint, which I tried to do on cardboard, and it looked really bad. So I'm gonna go with the yarn. It's easier to manipulate. So once you have this, you're gonna get your fabric glue here and put some fabric glue on the back of the loops here. And glue it, and then same thing with that one. You glue, press, put glue, press, and then I'm gonna wait until that dries. And then I'm gonna, here's the one that I did earlier. And I'm going to remove the pin, and I'm going to start gluing that part. You put some at the bottom, and then also where they cross, and press. And press. And then once that dries, I'm gonna cut right at the edge here to remove that extra yarn. Alright guys, so here's what they look like when they're finished, and this is all glued, and then you probably have some excess. I've already cut that right to the edge, so these are ready. And then I found this little container. I don't even know where the container's from, but they fit perfectly, and it also comes with the lid. And all I did here was grab a Google image and then printed it out, and I put it on my container, so that's ready to go in my daughter's play kitchen. Thanks for watching.